Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to Konexio Technical Insights. I am Rahul Randeria, and I would be conducting today's show. Today, we would be discussing regarding the trends, the setups, the indicators, and the patterns developed on the indices such as Nifty, Bank Nifty, as well as on the different asset classes. Last week, we have discussed that Nifty might come under pressure due to the rising corona cases across the country, and because of the falling channel which was consistently showing selling pressure at the higher levels. And again, last week was a truncated week. So similarly, on the very first day, Nifty ended on a very big loss, and then slowly and gradually for the next 3 days, it slowly and gradually started rallying on the back of the short covering and ended on a positive note on the weekly charts. Weekly chart, there has been a formation of a doji. Now looking at the last week pattern, the next week again is a truncated week because of a trading holiday on Wednesday due to Ram Navami. So again, the week is a truncated week, and looking at the daily charts, again I feel that at higher levels, once Nifty again reaches near say maybe 14,800 or 14,850 mark, again Nifty might see selling pressure at the higher levels, because still, as everybody knows, that there has been a spike in the second wave on the corona cases across the country. So market might discount this negative news in the coming weeks to see. So definitely one need to be cautious at these levels. So let us discuss the index analysis. You will see on the daily charts on the Nifty that Nifty has been moving in a downward falling channel. We have really seen on the daily charts in the last 2.5 months, and we didn't manage to see a decisive breakout from the falling channel. So Nifty has been hovering in this particular falling channel, and until and unless we don't see a breakout, a decisive breakout, either on the either side, maybe on the upside or the downside, we will not be able to see a clear trend on the Nifty or on the indices, on both the indices. So definitely traders need to trade in this particular band, buy on dips near the support line and sell on the resistance line. So this is the strategy which the traders need to adopt for the coming weeks. So now let us discuss the important support and resistance for the next week. As I said that the next week is a truncated week, the crucial support for the Nifty are placed at 14,450. And if it breaks, then next support is at 14,258. And the final support for the week is at 14,114. Whereas on the upside, the first resistance is placed at 14,786. If it breaks, the next resistance is at 14,918. And the final resistance, which is 15,015. It is almost just near the upward resistance line. So traders need to be cautious at higher levels, trade accordingly, and trade with strict stop losses. Now let us analyze the Bank Nifty. In Bank Nifty also, we have seen that Bank Nifty, at least for a day, we have seen that Bank Nifty had managed to break the downward falling channel, but on the very next day, it started rallying because of the short covering. Currently, you can see on the screen that currently on the daily charts, the prices are placed near the midway of the falling channel. Now, this is the area where Bank Nifty has left a gap in the last week, and that gap has been almost filled. So maybe a couple of 100 points, maybe 1% from these levels, a rise from 1% from these levels, Bank Nifty might again invite selling pressure at the higher levels. So again, the view is same, back of truncated week and rising corona cases across the country. Bank Nifty might also see selling pressure coming in at the higher levels. So traders need to be more cautious at those levels. Again, on the RSI also, RSI is into a comfort zone, but not showing a clear trend. Yes, it has tested the lower band of the comfort zone and then slightly bounced. But again, it is flattening at these levels. So one need to be a little bit cautious at the higher levels in Bank Nifty also. So now let us discuss the important support and resistance in the Bank Nifty for the next week. First, the crucial support in the Bank Nifty is placed at 31,400. If it breaks, the next support is at 30,843, and the final support for the next week is at 30,520. Whereas on the upside, the first resistance is placed at 32,448. The next resistance is placed at 32,972, and the final resistance for the week is at 33,306. All this support and resistance in Nifty and Bank Nifty are purely on the spot basis. So definitely the traders need to be watching out these levels and trade accordingly into the direction of the breakouts. Or one can adopt a strategy of first half an hour to 45 minutes range breakout and then trade accordingly in the direction. So one needs to closely monitor the highs and lows of first half an hour to 45 minutes trade in Nifty and Bank Nifty, and then trade accordingly in the direction of the breakout. So this would be a strategy. So if it is a breakout on the upside, the stop loss should be the day's low. If the breakout is on the downside, the stop loss would be the day's high for shorting the Nifty or Bank Nifty. So one can adopt this strategy for at least for the next week. So now let us discuss the option analysis. In option analysis, we would see or analyze, the concentration or the building up of the open interest into the particular strike price of Nifty calls and puts or Bank Nifty calls and puts. So now let us discuss the Nifty calls. You can clearly see on the screen that in the Nifty calls, there has been a strong open interest built up in the strike price of 14,700, 14,800 calls and 14,900 calls. These are the out of the money calls. But in the percentage change, you can clearly see that there has been a minor drop in that. That might some indicate that there might be slight writing of the out of the money calls. So that we will see once we start trading on the Monday, that there has been a strong writing seen if there is a weakness on the indices. But these are the area, or these are the out of the money strike price where there has been huge open interest built up in Nifty out of the money calls, which is 14,700, 14,800 calls and 14,900. Whereas in Nifty puts, in out of the money puts, there has been a strong build up in seen in 14,600 puts, 14,000. You can clearly see that there has been a strong build up in Nifty puts where the strike price where the open interest has been built is 14,500, 14,400 and 14,300. Again, you can see on the percentage changes there has been a drop in the premium, which again indicates that there might be a writing seen on the out of the money puts, maybe around 14,400, 14,300, 14,500. So most probably Nifty might be in a range of 14,300 on the downside, and on the upside maybe 15,000. But this is the range. But the strategy would be sell on rise. Any pullback from these levels, maybe 1.5%, should be used to go short at the higher levels in Nifty and Bank. Now let us discuss the open interest in Bank Nifty. In Bank Nifty, there will be a strong open interest built up in the out of the money calls, where seen at 32,500 calls and 33,000. You can clearly see, and then in the percentage changes, there will be a strong writing seen in these out of the money calls, which clearly indicates that in Bank Nifty the upside is capped. Maybe 33,000 could act as a major resistance on the upside in the Bank Nifty. Whereas in the Bank Nifty puts, you will see on the screen, then the strong open interest was built up in the strike price of 31,500 puts and 31,000 puts. So again, on the downside, the immediate target, or we can see that if there is a correction in Bank Nifty, the Bank Nifty might drift down to the levels of 31,000 mark. So most probably, as you can see, looking at the chart analysis, the support and resistance, the option analysis in Nifty and Bank Nifty, the overall view in the for the markets for the next week is, as I said, it is a truncated week. There has been a spike in the second wave in the corona cases across the country. So slightly the view would be sell on rise. Any pullback from these levels should be used to go short in Nifty and Bank Nifty at the higher levels. Now let us discuss the final segment of the today's show is the positional call. I've identified one stock from the pharma sector, and it is a newly listed company. The stock is Gland Pharma. You will see on the screen. After listing, the stock had rallied sharply, and it has been moving in an upward rising wedge formation. You can clearly see making higher tops, higher bottoms. Initially, the range was broad, and as and when the days and weeks passed, the rally is getting narrower and narrower. And the last week spike, I mean to say, has clearly indicated that stock is poised for an upside rally from the current levels, and the possibility is that stock can see a breakout of the upward rising wedge from the current levels. So the long-term investors can accumulate the stock, the Gland Pharma. The current market price of the stock is at 2627. So positional trader or long-term investor can accumulate the stock at current level, which is 2627. Even if there is a correction, maybe till 2580, one can accumulate the stock. First target would be just around 2800, and long-term target for the stock is 3000 mark. So definitely the long-term investors can accumulate the stock from current levels and on dips for long-term investment. Again, RSI is also showing strength at the midway. The price volume setup is also showing strength. The pattern, which is upward rising wedge, is a very sharp pattern. Once the stock sees to break out above the upward resistance line, then we might see a blowout rally, which would be faster than expected. So yes, definitely at current levels, one can accumulate the stock at current levels, which is 2627, and on corrections, maybe to 2850 for an immediate target of 2800, and long-term target would be 3000. So let us conclude the show. Thank you very much for watching the show. Any suggestion you can give suggest in the comment box. For live updates in Nifty, Bank Nifty, and individual stocks, you can connect me to my Twitter handle, which is @Rahul Randeria. Again, I would like to thank you very much for watching the show, and have a nice trading week. Thank you.